Alien 3. Well, this rather infamous title of the Alien series was kind of a downer for a lot of people. But on the other hand, let's face it, what could David Fincher have done? This movie came right after Aliens, one of the most incredible movies of all time, and he, as a first-time director, was meant to make a sequel? That was bound to fail, I'm sorry. Personally, I thought the movie was okay, but it was far from perfect, I admit that. But you know the drill. Successful movie, NES game. And yes, I actually have this game. This game is horrible. Absolutely horrible. I know it was made by LJN. Yeah, I saw it on the cover, but I thought, what the hell, give it a try. Ugh, big mistake. Very big mistake. You'll see why. So what happens when you boot this game? Well, first of all, you get the title sequence, which actually isn't too bad. Of course, this is reminiscent of the original Alien title, of course. So, you see the starfields, some planets. Not too bad so far, but same with the Predator intro, but I have to say this one's better. You actually get to configure this game. You have a bunch of options here, like difficulty, play tune, skip play sounds, and even the number continuous, or tries as we call it here. But anyway, let's start. That looks inviting. So you start, you're playing as Ripley, trying to save prisoners from being turned into alien hosts. That was not in the movie, but what the hell. So this kinda is like a cross between the final part of Aliens and the location of Alien 3. You have a prison, and you're basically going in trying to save people from being harvested. Let's start. The graphics, well, they're colorful, alright, but I guess they're above average for LJN, but still not very good. What is up with the aliens? Look at them, they're blue. When have those things ever been blue? I know that jet black would not be the best color either, but... And yeah, you fall a lot of this game right into another alien. It happens all the time. Those things just pounce you from the outside of the screen. So what happens? You run up to these prisoners, touch them, save. And you gotta search for more. There's some radar on the lower right of the screen, but I have no idea how that works. Sometimes it helps, sometimes it doesn't. And those aliens, I swear to God. This game also has a screen issue. The screen doesn't move far enough. It only scrolls when it feels like it. Big mistake. So you run around, aliens grab you out of nowhere, and it's just a pain. And what is it doing there? You can't even jump down from there. I don't know, this doesn't look like something out of Alien, doesn't it? It's not even Alien 3 with its shit brown color scheme. This is way too colorful. Yeah, I know, boring looking games are not good either, but wow. But hey, no game's complete without bad graphics and bad jumping controls, as you could have just seen. So you wander around, and there's facehuggers, and if they get on you, I haven't figured out how to get rid of them. They drain a shit ton of your life, and there doesn't seem to be anything you can do. So that's good. Sure, you can kill them before they get you, but it's hard. You also have a bunch of weapons like grenades, you have a flamethrower, and some other stuff. I think even a rocket launcher. I'm not sure about that though. Flamethrower is pretty good. Machine gun, you have one. Actually, I think it's supposed to be a pulse rifle, but it runs out very fast. It does do some decent damage though. And yeah, like I said, the ladders are a problem, the jumping is a problem, and this happens. You get run over all the time. So, what is the final goal? Well, you have to rescue all the prisoners, and then get to the level's exit. Sounds simple enough, but it's not. It really is not. The time limit is strict on this, and you will see. Anyway, you keep wandering around, find some supplies, which you desperately gonna need, because you're gonna run out of ammo. Finally, find the last few prisoners. Trying to get down those fucking ladders, which is always a pain in the ass. I swear to God, those are the worst ladders I've ever seen in a game. I've never seen anything this bad before. Also, how does touching a prisoner save them from alien infestation? Anyway, so you find these vents, in which you're gonna spend quite a while trying to find the exit. But when you actually get close to it, this happens. Out of time. Seriously, if you don't haul ass, this happens every time. So that's Alien 3 on Nintendo, guys. I didn't show you any of the boss fights, but I could tell you what they are. It's big aliens jumping around like they're on fucking steroids, spraying acid all over the place till you die. Or you kill them. It's just a bullet and acid spam fest. And even getting there is not easy. I think the first boss comes up at level 3. This game... Oh, okay, so... Let's summarize what's wrong with it. The screen not scrolling is a big problem. It doesn't follow the player very properly, especially considering how fast the aliens are. And I only played on normal difficulty. They are so fast, they're gonna pounce you all the time, and there's not a whole lot you can do about it because you quite simply don't see them coming. And since this is Nintendo, you can't just fire a weapon and expect some alien off-screen to die. For the game, it doesn't exist, so most likely your shots are going nowhere. But you're gonna end up getting pounced. It's simple as that. The idea of saving prisoners from alien from being turned to alien host, I guess that is sort of cool. I mean, at least it somewhat resembles a movie, unlike the Predator game, which is, I don't know what the fuck that was. But anyway, the music, as you probably heard, is not like anything in the movie. So again, they got the license, but they did nothing out of it. They didn't even bother. It's not the worst NES soundtrack I've ever heard, but it certainly is not a good one either. The controls are horrid, I swear to God. Combine that with the screen scrolling issue and you're really in a world of pain. You can barely jump on stuff with precision. And when you do, you're sliding around like you're slipping on soap or something. And I don't know, this constant falling issue, just fall down places, you take falling damage in this game. This is something you usually never see in a Nintendo game, at least I hardly ever do. You fall down and take damage? That's not... that's something you don't see a whole lot. So there's that. Ammo. The ammo for your guns is just enough, but the fact that you have so many guns saves you, so I guess that is okay. But most of the time you would use a pulse rifle. The flamethrower is short distance only. Whatever. Anyway, and most importantly, the time limit. If it weren't for the time limit, this game would actually be somewhat decent for an NES movie adaptation game, but the time limit is too strict. You know what I hate? They give you all these options. You can change your difficulty. You can even increase your numbers of continues all the way up to 9, I think. Why do they not give us the option to turn on or turn off the time limit then? Because as far as I could tell, the difficulty setting does not affect the timer at all. Unfortunately, the difficulty will hardly matter here. You either get killed by the aliens or you get killed by the time limit. I know it is perfectly possible to beat a level within the time limit, so it's not impossible. But here's the issue. The time is so short that unless you're doing a speedrun type of game style, you're not gonna reach the end in time. That's a big problem. I know there are a lot of people that like to do speedruns, but answer me this: when do you do that? Exactly, you do speedruns, if at all, when you have mastered the game, not when you play it for the first time. Very bad decision, LJN. Very bad decision. So, I can only recommend avoiding this game. There is a Super Nintendo version of this game. I don't know if that is any better, but this version I cannot recommend. If it would have been anyway like Contra, without the screen scrolling issue, with the aliens being not as ridiculously fast as they are here, I think this game could have been decent. As it is, sadly it's broken, but you know what's sad? This is actually one of the better LJN titles I've seen so far. And if this is one of the better ones, God help us, what else we will find. So, avoid this game at all costs.